All right, everybody, what's going on? So, welcome back to another video. So, we're in the middle of our turkey season from last year, so spring 2025. That's the videos that you guys have been watching here. But we're gonna switch up gears a little bit, okay? So, you've been seeing the West Coast crew do work. But we haven't started turkey season yet here, and I live in Michigan. Our season actually starts a lot later than some other states. But we kind of wanted to highlight some things or some parts of the process that I think go overlooked by a lot of people. So we just kind of wanted to highlight that, just to maybe showcase, you know, hey, like, it's not the end result isn't just carrying a turkey out over the shoulder, right? Like, we feel like there's a lot more people that are obsessed with the end result than the entire process itself. So what I've got some patterning that I'm gonna do. I've got a Weatherby Sorix 20 gauge. I've been shooting that now since September. I have not shot any sort of turkey loads through that. It came drilled and tapped, so I did mount a red dot on it. It's a Burris Fast Fire 4 with a Meadow Creek receiver mount. So we're gonna throw that in there. I'm gonna shoot a full choke. I'm gonna shoot an Indian Creek 562, and then I'm gonna shoot a Jeb's 565, just to kind of show the differences, the difference of results. Even though with that 562 and 565, there might be minimal, from between the full to the aftermarket chokes, there's a pretty substantial pattern density difference. Just because, you know, like, I feel like, this is me personally, my perception, there's a lot of folks, and now a full choke is going to do it. Like, that's what everybody's been doing it for years and years and years and years, right? So before I gotta catch myself before I start beating them down, full choke will work. However, I am looking for a specific result out of my gun with the particular shells that I'm going to be shooting, okay? Guys shoot lead, guys shoot TSS, guys are shooting a hybrid load. I like shooting TSS at turkeys because it is the most lethal thing you can absolutely shoot them with, right? The density is there, whether it's pattern density or density by weight of the actual shot. Okay, I used to work for an ammunition company that we shot rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds. So it's just kind of one of those, like, I want to be as lethal as possible, right? So I use this analogy all the time. With calling, okay, I want to be the best possible caller that I can be with ducks, with turkeys, with geese, because it's going to enhance the experience, right? When you get a bow, guys are going, they're throwing on, you know, spot hogs, dialed, whatever, all of these adjustable sights to be as accurate as possible. But then you're like, oh, well, you know, I have consistent groups, but I want it to be tighter, right? So then they go get a release to change up their dynamic of shooting. So it's just kind of one of those things, like, you're whittling down your lethality, right? Because you really only have a marginal time window, or whatever it may be, whether it's 30 yards, 35 yards, 40 yards, 15 yards, whatever that is. We want to be as lethal as possible. I mean, within 20 yards, you can shoot a turkey with 2 3/4, 7.5 trap loads, right? However, in the instance, every hunt's not the same. If every hunt was the same, we'd probably have a lot more hunters out there, and we'd probably not have the products we have on the market. So that's just my little soapbox. I'm gonna hop off it now to start getting things ready. I've got my tripod here, good to go. I got a shooting bench, but you'll see it's it's pretty it's pretty janky. So I did go out, I bit the bullet and got one of the really nice Bog death grip tripods, not just for me. So if you are a guy, all right, you're always having to justify your purchases, not saying that's what I do, but I've got a kid. She's going to be shooting turkeys pretty soon, so I probably need a tripod. My wife, she shoots, she's in the Army, so she's used to shooting stuff. But it's nice to be able to have that tripod whenever we go deer hunting. That's what I use, right? So it's kind of one of those. All right, we got this thing justified pretty well. So yeah, let me get some stuff and we'll get rolling. All right, so like I said, I've got a Jeb's head hunter here, Benelli Beretta Cryo, and a 560 and 565. That is a ported and non-ported, and then I got an Indian Creek. I already busted it out of the package because that personally has been my favorite choke tube to grab. Sorry, I was kind of walking away from you guys as I'm talking, and it's probably not the greatest, but we'll figure it out. Okay, so here is obviously firearm safety. Treat everything as it is loaded. So here's the Weatherby Sorix. I have loved this gun. Honestly, been incredibly impressed with it. Inertia driven, came drilled and tapped. So I went and got one of the Meadow Creek receiver mounts here. Hopefully that's in focus, but Meadow Creek receiver mount, Burris Fast Fire 4. I really like that that red dot. And then this is something that's new right here for this year. It is the shot cam to hopefully provide you guys a little bit different angle. But it is a smooth shotgun. It is different and it's unique because I can pull this pin and put it on the other side in case I am a left-handed shooter. Now granted, it still would eject across body, but it is a little bit more appealing to be able, if you're a lefty, to grab that bolt handle. So that is that. That's the setup. I'm going to throw that full choke back in, and we're going to start with the full choke. We're going to sight in this red dot, and then we're going to change out my chokes. All right, so we'll get things rolling. All right, a little bit more tidbit of information here, okay, because you know you can never have enough information, right? So throwing the full choke in to sight this red dot in. Now my process for sighting in a red dot, and there's a reason I'm doing all this inside right now versus outside in a little bit, it's because it's 35 degrees outside right now, and I don't really feel like explaining this outside. So I'm gonna throw the full choke in when sighting a red dot in. All right, trap loads, just shoot trap loads, get your point of impact where it needs to be. I try to shoot a target at like 15 yards, okay? And once I get everything dialed in, I'll put a fresh target out at 20 yards, okay? And I'm not gonna shoot a TSS load because I'm not gonna waste TSS when I'm trying to sight in this until the very end, right? I will go for the top half of the target as long as my point of impact is directly, basically, like if I'm aiming at the center of the target and I'm hitting the top half of it and it's centered at 20 yards, I'm pretty dialed because tungsten's heavier, and at 40 yards, by the time you back out to 40 yards, you put it on the middle of the turkey's neck, base of the turkey's neck, whatever, it should be spot on, right? The core of your pattern should be on that turkey's head, on that turkey's neck, wherever you're aiming at, should be full out right there. So I wanted to touch on that point. because I felt like that's a very good tidbit of information as more and more guys are starting to get into red dots, everything like that. So they do have rib mounts for red dots if you don't have a drilled and tapped firearm or don't want to go get your gun drilled or tapped. So they do have rib mounts. Meadow Creek again makes a good one. And man, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Not endorsed by Meadow Creek. I'll post the receipt here if you guys really want. Greg is a really great guy, and he makes a phenomenal product. If you know Greg and you have good thoughts on the product or an open mind to the product, especially the rib mount, a lot of guys shy away from it. You'll be happy because Greg is a fantastic guy, and it's very, very easy to support people that are just good folks. So I want to touch on that little tidbit of information there. So before I forget, ADHD brain, let's go. All right, folks. So got that full choke in the Weatherby Sorix 20 gauge, and we'll be good to go. Again, I did put this gun pretty much through the ringer as much as I could, and was really impressed with it. Really liked it. It's got a 26-inch barrel on it. Shot it all goose season. Got it in September. Shot it all goose season, all throughout duck season. For what duck season we had. Took it to Colorado. Hunted it in the cold. Hunted it in the wet. You get the drill. But it's been a fantastic gun for me. I'm really excited to see what it does patterning wise and how we get it set up for turkey, because I'm just excited for turkey season. So all right, so before I get things rolling, kind of show you what I envisioned. All right, now the hardcore, when I say hardcore, I'm talking incredibly hardcore guys that go out and pattern their shotguns and everything like that. I mean, they got the little clicker out, which is cool. Hey, I admire that, right? I do not have a clicker. They also use larger sheets of paper and have a little ring to get a 30-inch circle and a 10-inch circle. I do not have that. So just putting that out there. So anybody that asks or is wondering or curious, like I don't have that. And however, you know, that's the hardcore guys. I do consider myself pretty hardcore about turkey hunting, though. That's like a whole nother level of ballistician. I'll say that. So they have a whole little bit different process than I do. I'm going to go and I'm using, here, I'll show you. Excuse the mess that I got in my barn. I've got Amazon snow stakes. All right, so thank you, Lex, because she went and bought like 70 Amazon snow stakes. So this is what I'm gonna do to get. I got 4 total here. This is what I'm gonna do to get my red dot on target, and then I'll throw 2 at 20 yards and then 2 at 40 yards. But then I also have a lot of visual shoot and see targets. All of you guys kind of see what it looks like and everything like that. So it's not the OG Birchwood Casey turkey targets, but we'll do it. It's not like, you know, the hardcore ballistician TSS shooters are doing. I'm throwing up a pattern that's visually appealing for me. But again, you know, kind of touch on, I don't honestly, I mean, out of the amount of turkey hunters that pattern their gun, percentage wise, I would probably say less than 25% to less than 20% are patterning their shotguns. So hopefully this encourages you guys to go do that. Just see where you're at. See what you're shooting and what you're looking at. You might have giant holes in your pattern where you're like, whoa, bro, I need to, you know, or you're shooting top left if you got, you know, one of those Italian-made shotguns. or you know, you might be shooting to the right or whatever it may be. Like, this truly does help you be a better and more efficient hunter. So you might not like the ammunition that you're shooting. You might be like, oh, I love this ammunition, I love how it looks right now, let's tighten it up, right? Like I was talking about earlier, you get this bow and you get it all set up and you're throwing out consistent groups at 40, 50, 60 yards, 70 yards, whatever you may be shooting out to with your bow. But you're like, oh man, I want to tighten that up. So then you go get a Stan Annex thumb release, right? So it's just kind of one of those, like, just there's small little things that you can do. And you know, technically in a constriction case, right, like, your full choke in your shotgun is going to be a relatively, it's a relatively light or relatively tight constriction in stock chokes, okay? When you start getting into the 565, it's starting to choke down just a little bit. 562 is even more. 560 is really tight. 560 is probably about the cap that I would have when shooting TSS. Now, if I'm shooting lead, I'd probably get down to 560, 555. 562 is about as tight as I want for my TSS, personally, my TSS shooting. Because the tighter you do go when you're shooting TSS, it tends to throw that shot. TSS really needs to breathe. All right, so what we got here is, that's the bench. That's getting retired. Still is okay. So my dot, I don't know if you can see it or not, maybe. Slow rolling in, there you go. So my dot is off of the bead currently. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna line that dot up with the bead, get it back to center, and then go from there and see where we're at. All right, so got a text from my wife like right as I was about to shoot. Hearing protection, so thank you, Lex. Sorry, I'm zoomed way in. So we're gonna go, first shot is gonna be right, the right target at 12 yards, just to make sure this red dot's dialed in, and then we'll be ready to rock. Might hear some ducks quacking in the background. Those are our farm ducks, so don't be like, oh man, homeboy's got a marsh behind his house. All right, so right target first. Guns back on safe. We're gonna walk right up here. Sorry, I'm trying to get this camera flipped around. As you can see, just a smidge to the right. All right, so we'll try to, and it's actually like really on target. So what I'm gonna go do is probably get it to where I'm shooting just a smidge high. I want to center that pattern right around that dot. I'm going to shoot a smidge high on this target and to the left. So we'll get that rolling. So 1 second. Little tool here. We're gonna go up. Let's just go 3 clicks up. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm gonna try to pull left. So we're gonna, there's no clicks on this one. It doesn't. So we'll see how that looks. And now we're gonna shoot this left target. Ready? Guns on safe. Chambers open. And yeah, that is what we're looking for here. So literally, I mean, the top, I'd say probably about 2/3 of that pattern is up here, which is ideal. And then yeah, it's pretty dialed and honestly even. So what we can do is now we can start walking back. We'll do a turkey head target at 40 yards, and then with the full choke, and then we'll just do a bunch of stuff. So just bear with me. All right, so as you can see, we got 2 turkey head targets down there at 40 yards. They're about 5-foot tall turkeys, but it is all good. We're gonna throw in an actual hunting load and do the old hammer down there. So get us loaded up with actual TSS. We're gonna shoot full choke for the first shot, since I got 2 targets down there. Full choke for the first shot. Not even gonna go to walk down there. Make sure the gun's unloaded. Put in the Indian Creek 562 and go from there. So I'm shooting ounce and 5/8, number 8 and 9 TSS. I got a couple old hand loads that I'm still have left over. So, and this year we're gonna be shooting the Migra TSS, and some of us are gonna be shooting the Migra hybrids. So kind of a mixture of loads, both, you know, cost efficient and then lethality efficient. So both are lethal, but you guys get what I'm saying. So here you go. So that's about as far as I possibly can zoom in. We are very hot with a target or a TSS load. It's going to be hammer down. That's a very dead turkey, to be honest. We're not going to go down there. Wow, sorry, zoomed way too far in. As you can tell, I'm pretty new to the whole selfie mode film and vlog stuff, but I can see from here that's a healthy pattern. I would have no hesitation at all going and hunting with that right out of the box. If you didn't have the capability of getting a aftermarket choke or anything like that, I mean, that is pretty wicked. So we're gonna take the full choke out and shoot the Indian Creek 562. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Indian Creek 562, just so you guys don't blow me up. Action is open. I do have hearing protection and eye pro. Thank you to my wife for reminding me. This is the Indian Creek 562. This is my personal favorite choke that I've hunted with. Jeb's is a very close second. True Lock is a very fantastic choke as well. So we're gonna get this puppy all dialed up. And honestly, for an inertia just shotgun, there wasn't a whole lot of recoil. So let's get this thing rolling. Flip her back around. Oh boy. Oh. We're gonna go ahead and put a Jebs 565. We're gonna go ported. As you can tell, they've never been shot before, so see kind of what the comparison is here. So let me do that. Whenever I put that other target out, you guys, you'll be able to see the pattern here. So I can tell, I mean, that's freaking nasty. So yeah, pretty good stuff. So I realized I went and set that target out and left the camera here. So we will have a pattern reveal after this third one. So just put the Jebs Headhunter 565 in the Weatherby Sorix, and I'm gonna shoot one more load. Might shoot a fourth one just for fun, but we'll get things rolling. Far right target. We're hot. All right, safety's on. Make sure I'm gonna pick all these up so I don't get yelled at by Lex. I make it sound like she's some crazy. No, I just like to give her a hard time. She's fantastic. She's supportive of the hunting habit, so I cannot complain. So actually, all right. So still pulling just a little left, or I'm sorry, just a smidge right. So I might do one click over and throw up one more target. So this is the full choke at 40 yards, which, you know, that's solid. I'm not gonna say it's fantastic. I'm not gonna say it's poor. There's plenty of spots that turkey would be hit. But again, that's why we pattern the gun, right? Because we need to learn things, okay? Right, so now, you know, our pattern density just improved. Granted, I'm shooting a little low, but that still is a very, very dead turkey, even though there's not a whole lot up in the cranium type deal. You can see that pattern density is just improving, right? So here is the final pattern. So I'm gonna click it to where it goes to the left, just probably one click, and then I'm gonna click 1 to 2 higher, just so I can kind of be more centered back up, because this one I would aim true to here, and that's about where I was hitting. This one I held here and I hit up here. So we'll make one small little adjustment. All right, so I got the family out here joining me while Lex is doing duck stuff. Anderson's up from a nap, Grayson's here. When they back off, I'll shoot a couple more times. I put out 3 fresh targets because I did make some adjustments on that red dot, just to really dial it in and get it to where I really want it to be. So just some minuscule stuff. Just moved it up and to the left a smidge. So yeah. But and then I threw the Indian Creek back in for one shot, and then I'll throw the Jebs in for the next. And then there's a third target down there for Lex to shoot, because she's been wanting to shoot this gun. So we'll get things rolling. All right, so we are zoomed in. Here we go. Far left target. There we go. So now let's throw that jeb back in there. All right, so bear with me here because Mama Bear is gonna come shoot. She's gonna shoot another one of those 8.9s. You ready?
You literally just throw a piece of chalk.
So you're shooting far right target. If you need to adjust the gun, use the ball.
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it's that deep.
Okay.
This thing?
Yep.
No, I need to be able to move it forward in the grip.
Why do you need to move it forward?
Because I can't reach over top of this. That's my...
Yeah.
So it's okay. I got it.
There you go.
Here.
Yep, and just tighten it down. It's called a death grip for a reason.
Yeah, that's way better.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. No, no.
This old dog.
Kyle,
What is he even doing?
I don't know, honey. Come on, Booga.
So yeah, this was a great pattern video that turned into a cluster real quick because we added a 12-year-old dog.
So interesting. Okay.
Well, it's a very dead turkey. Very, very dead turkey.
That's a pretty... You got that dialed in.
Yeah. Cool. All right, and that was actually with the jebs. Now that it's empty, we can go look at the... So, like I said, it's part of the process. And you fall in love with this aspect of it. So, ooh. All right, so we'll give you Lex's pattern. She shot a little high, but it's all good. That was her first time shooting that gun ever, and she just shot a turkey load. That's a jebs. So the adjustment was made. Hi. The adjustment was made on this target, or on this, on the red dot. So that's the jebs 565. And this one's the very, very clear winner of Indian Creek 562. That's definitely what's going in my gun. So that's wicked. Yeah, is that awesome?
Yeah, look at the back of it.
Yeah, look at the front of it. Did we shoot the turkey head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at this. Oh.
That's the one Mommy shot.
Yeah. That turkey would be riding in his truck with us, huh? Can he sit in your car seat?
I can sit in your car seat, Daddy.
That's a different choke. So
That's a better one.
that's a very, very wicked pattern there. So
What, Daddy?
oh,
A little high.
little high, but that's fine. That's the first time you ever shot that gun, and it was with a turkey load.
I aimed like at the head.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
So.
No, this is literally aiming right here.
Okay.
So, and that's where the pattern fell. So, but also your choke is a little bit more open than this one. So,
Yeah.
but all right, cool.
Yeah, Mom's got to drop it down a little bit.
Good job.
Thanks.
Good job to you too. Yep. Air 5. High foot. Okay. All right. So that was patterning and putting a red dot, sighting in a red dot real quick. Honestly, it took 2 shots. and it was pretty dialed. And then some small adjustments that were made. As you guys saw, we're going, you know, Indian Creek for sure on that choke, just because that was just a wicked pattern. So we're gonna throw that Indian Creek in there, and then yeah, so it was just nasty. But yeah, guys, if you like the video, like, subscribe, turn the notifications on for the next video, because we do have a lot more coming.